Welcome back to another edition of Gary's Record Collection. This time out, we are going to relive the glory days of the ABC Movie of the Week. Circa 1981, 2, 3, 4, about every 6 weeks or so on the ABC Movie of the Week, you would have a James Bond movie. That's where I saw all of them. Dr. No, Goldfinger, From Russia with Love, Thunderball, Live and Let Die, Diamonds Are Forever. All of them up to that point through the films in the mid-70s were on the ABC Movie of the Week, probably like one every 6 weeks or so. And I loved them. I love those movies. Those are great. I still watch them. I mean, if Goldfinger's on, I'm going to watch Goldfinger. And Dr. No and From Russia with Love. They are ingrained into the psyche. They're great. So because of that, I would go to the record stores and go to the soundtrack section and find, oh, look, they've got the Goldfinger soundtrack on vinyl. Oh, and they've got From Russia with Love. So I got those. Oh, Live and Let Die. Oh, with Paul McCartney. That's awesome. Then I ran across a compilation in like 1982 or so. And it's James Bond's Greatest Hits, 20 original tracks. And here it is. This is it. And this is great because it has everything on it. And the cool part about this actual copy is from New Zealand. So it was an import. We got it. I can't remember if I got it at the regular record store or I was in upstate New York, so there was a place in Rochester called the House of Guitars, and they had so many records and so many imports. I may have gotten it there because the imports were crazy there, and not for a lot of money either. But this was great because that means that all of the James Bond songs were on this one album, and there had been a compilation you may have seen. This is like, look at this red cover here, right? You may have seen a blue version of the same album and go, well, they just put it out with different colors. No. The blue version only has 13 songs on it. Now it did come out a little bit after this other one, the 20 Greatest, so it does include one more song from the movie Octopussy that came out in 83. This came out in 82, so it only has songs that go up to For Your Eyes Only in 81. But man, it's great. And of course, how do you start every James Bond movie? What a great use of the electric guitar. And this is like 1962, so it wasn't like that, electric guitar sound that you hear like in the late 70s and the late 60s, early 70s, where it's a lot of overdrive and everything. It's very clean and it's very almost twangy, but it is great. And then they kick in with the orchestra. This was great for me because I never found the Dr. No soundtrack, which I assume if there was a Dr. No soundtrack, then there must have been. This had to have been on there. I wanted this. This was like the theme, the James Bond theme. It's like Batman. It's like Batman, and it's like when he's driving around town with the Batmobile, you've got the Batman theme. You want that theme. And this is the same thing with the James Bond theme. I wanted the theme. And then you go back to it. And that was from the first movie, Dr. No. And then they used it like in the opening for every album, every movie after that. With the bad guy tracking him through the sights and Bond shoots him, and then of course the blood comes down. It's awesome. And then the second movie that came out in '64, From Russia with Love. And the vocals here, let me just make sure. Let me check my notes. Matt Monro.
with love, I fly to you, much wiser.
Remember, this was a movie with the villain. Remember the old Russian lady who had the boots that had the poison darts in her shoe, and she'd like click them and it'd come out and she'd kick somebody and they would die. It's like, I don't think you just buy those off the shelf. They had to have been manufactured for her. So yeah, From Russia with Love, and then followed the same year by Goldfinger, which the orchestration on this is just awesome. Not awful, awesome. It has a great lush sound. Backs off, and then you get the vocals coming in from Shirley Bassey. It's just tremendous.
Goldfinger, he's the man with the Midas touch, a spider's touch, such a cold finger beckons you to enter his web of sin.
Oh, that's awesome. And then on this album, and it's not on the other one, is a song called 007, and it's like fight music, really. And this actually came from the movie Thunderball. It came out in '65. You know, and it was interesting listening to those instruments. It sounds like it's almost like a Western. Took the percussion out of that, it would be like, I could see this as a big budget Western. And so I say this is from Thunderball. It came out in '65. Oh, by the way, the theme song to Thunderball, sung by none other than Tom Jones.
While others walk, he acts while other men just talk. He looks at this world and wants it all, so he strikes like
Tom Jones in great voice, and by the way, apparently, he was touring in the summer of '23. Still in great voice at 80. How many years old is he now? Still has the pipes. So, way to go, Tom Jones. Followed by "You Only Live Twice," another big singer on this. And it's the Boots girl herself, as Nancy Sinatra, sang the theme song to this one.
You only live twice, or so it seems. One life for yourself and one for your
one dream appears, and love is its name.
By the way, let's go back to the beginning because maybe you heard something familiar in there. Hang on. Yeah, this part right here. Have you heard that like in the last 20 years or so? And the answer is yes, you have, because Robbie Williams sampled this for his song Millennium. So they always go back to the classics. That's the message here. Speaking of classics, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, this is the one where Bond gets married and then of course she dies right at the end. And this is the George Lazenby movie. Louis Armstrong singing "We Have All the Time in the World."
Diamond up for life to unfold all the precious things love has in store. We have all the love in the world.
And did he have all the time in the world? And the answer, of course, in the movie was no, he did not. That gets us through the 60s, and then you get into the 70s, and you had Diamonds Are Forever, and then you get to Live and Let Die, and getting Paul McCartney and Wings to do the theme song. This was like a score for the movies.
You used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. But if this ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in and cry, say, live and let die.
By the way, are we going to let that go, that McCartney, that typical McCartney lyric, in this ever-changing world in which we live in? And this is also, this song is actually, like a typically McCartney structured song. You've got him singing, you've got the big band here, and then it busts into this other theme that's going on in the song.
What does it matter to you? When you got a job to do, you gotta do it well. You got to give the other fella hand.
And back. Typical Paul McCartney. It's just like the next version of Uncle Albert Admiral Halsey, maybe. Then we go into what do we got here? From The Spy Who Loved Me, Nobody Does It Better.
Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, you're the best. I wasn't looking, but somehow you found me. I tried to hide from your love light, but like heaven above me, the spy who loved me is keeping all my secrets safe tonight.
Got to work the name of that movie in there into the song. That is awesome. Carly Simon and composed by Marvin Hamlish, by the way, in 1977. That was on like the AM pop stations. That was gold. That was huge. That was a killer combination. And then you go to 81 and For Your Eyes Only, Sheena Easton. And you can definitely hear some of that 1980s production in this, just from the swirl here of the keyboards.
Can see me through the night with your eyes on me. I never need to hide. You can see so much in me that's new. I never felt till I looked at you. For your eyes on me, only for you. You'll see what no one else can see. And now I'm breaking free for your eyes on me, only for you. The love I know you needed me, the fantasy you freed me, only for you, only for you.
And for your eyes only, which came out in '81. And then you know what? It's like I said, it was like those movies were on ABC like every 6 weeks. They were the classic movies. And then we had the competing James Bond movies that came out after that, and then it changed from Roger Moore to, it was Sean Connery, and then Roger Moore, and they had Sean Connery again, and more Roger Moore, and then Pierce Brosnan, and they moved on, and had so many different people going in there, in and out, and so many movies. At some point, I couldn't keep up, right? So let me just latch on to the core movies of the beginning. Those are the classics, and those are what's represented here on the album. Even though in the end, it's like, I love the Sean Connery movies, but of course, the Roger Moore iconography on the front, holding that gun with a long barrel, that just probably personified James Bond the best. I love those movies. I love that music. It is different for every album or for every movie. It is great. So there you go. 20 original tracks, James Bond's greatest hits. This is the release from New Zealand, which, by the way, the album code is Bond 007. And that's how I found out it was from New Zealand, because that's the only country that pressed it that way. They had other catalog numbers around the world. And surprisingly, not released in the United States, but oh well, that's the beauty of the import. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. We will see you next time on Gary's Record Collection.